Thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make it for the love. SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make it for the love. SVP TV.
Towanna Murphy Show, that's what's up.
That's what's up. Towanna Murphy Show. That's what's up. Towanna Murphy Show.
That's what's up. The Towanna Murphy Show.
In the last 4 years, you've seen the true colors of everybody that didn't like us. So I'm not gonna say names right now, but only thing I'm gonna say is you better hope your ass don't get in trouble. And you need Murphy to get you out of it.
That's what's up, the Towanna Murphy Show. When you got to tune in, want the real in your host. What's going on, man? She knows the most. Memphis to Mid-South, tune in, cause the diva is on.
That's what's up.
And good evening. You're watching the Towanna Murphy Show right here on SVP TV, Comcast 17, Comcast 31. You can also watch the Towanna Murphy Show on Roku, Apple TV, On Demand, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Good evening and happy Wednesday to everybody. You are watching the Towanna Murphy Show. If you would like to advertise or sponsor the Towanna Murphy Show, please feel free to call me on my business phone number, which is 901-437-2717. That is 901-437-2717. Listen, we have an amazing show for you tonight. And tonight we want questions. We want answers. In fact, we got some of the answers. We're going to, I'm just going to touch on this before I go into my commercial break. I wanted to talk about the death of Dr. Yvonne Nelson. Dr. Yvonne Nelson is a community activist here in Memphis, Tennessee. And as many of you know, she was gunned down the other day. And many people have been frustrated and angry about what happened. Well, when we seen the footage of the shooting the other day, it wasn't so much of Dr. Nelson getting carjacked. It wasn't a carjacking. So when we looked at the video, and I kept going back and like, wait a minute, was this a carjacking, or what was this that was going on with Dr. Nelson? Well, when we looked at the video showed that she was in a confrontation with a young lady by the name of, what is this lady's name? Wright, Miss Wright. She was into a confrontation with her, and you can see Dr. Nelson going towards Miss Wright, but Miss Wright shot a first round, and the first round shot she shot at the ground, so we couldn't see what was really going on behind the wall in that video. But we know that she was shot several times by Miss Wright. Many of you have watched that video over and over and over just to see what was going on with that. But it's kind of puzzling. What were they arguing about? There was other people standing around. So it wasn't a carjacking. It was a confrontation that she had with Miss Wright. And many of us know that Miss Wright is still on the run. She's somewhere. We just don't know where she is. But she is on the run at this present time. And we don't know where her whereabouts are. So if you know where her whereabouts are, for the people that's watching on TV and you can see her picture on the screen, if you know what her whereabouts is, please contact the local police, our Memphis Police Department, to tell us where she is so she can be arrested, because we need to know what really happened with the death of Yvonne Nelson, who is a community activist here in Memphis, Tennessee. And many of you know it's been a lot of shootings in our city lately. We're getting ready to change over. We get ready to change over power as of September 1st. So when we change over power September 1st, maybe we'll get some answers. Maybe we'll get a grip on the crime and murder rate in Memphis, Tennessee. Because it's going on too long. It's too much going on. We had, 6 people get shot? I don't know how many was killed, but I know it was 6 people shot in front of the hospital the other day. It's nonsense to me. It's nonsense to me, and we have to get a handle. We have to get a grip on the crime that's going on in our city. It's not right. And you know what? Let me just put it this way. We've been dealing with this for years. Let's just put it out on the table. We've been dealing with this for years. We've been trying to find a solution for years. And many people are marching. They're marching. What does marching do? I just want to ask that question for all of us. What is marching do? If we're not getting solutions, we're not getting answers, why are we marching? That was one of the questions that I really wanted to ask y'all, ask America. Why are we marching? Why are we marching if we're not getting any answers? Why are we doing this? We've marched for so many things. We've marched for the crime in our city. We've marched for the murder rate in our city. We've marched for the rights of all kind of activists. I mean, you know what? Can I just say this? I think we're just marching for anything that makes us upset, and we want justice for it. We march. But after we march, after we've sat down with city officials, after we've come up with a plan, why come the plan is not in place? And every time we bring up a plan, they'll say, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work because these people are going to feel this type of way, and these people are going to feel this type of way. Well, we can't be really concerned about how they feel. We're just trying to minimize the crime and violence in our city. So I came up with, let's re-implement the jump and grab. Jump and grab worked for us. It worked for us, but of course, there were parents complaining. Police just jumped out and just jumped on my kid for nothing. It's always somebody complaining. Well, if your child is not doing anything, then he or she has nothing to complain about. Jump and grab is just simply, let me just see what these fellas doing on this corner. It's about 4 or 5 of y'all. What's going on in this corner? So they jump and grab it. It really was successful. I'm telling y'all, it kept crime down. Because if y'all want to see some brothers scatter like roaches, baby, them brothers were scattering like roaches. Every time they seen the police pull up, they were scattering like roaches. So it did have a big effect on us, but we stopped it. He said, okay, to permitless carry. So now people can get guns whenever they want to, and they don't have to have a permit to carry a gun in a store, to carry a gun in a park, to carry a gun anywhere they want to go. So now we're seeing shootings everywhere, in front of the hospital, in front of the police department. They don't care where they shoot. They just shoot because guess what? We got permitless carry. Because anybody can carry a gun. Anybody. So now we're still trying to figure out what's going on with Dr. Yvonne Nelson and her killer, Miss Wright. Miss Wright is now on the run. There was some confrontation there. Couldn't hear what they were saying. We were just seeing the video footage. So it was some confrontation. Whatever was being said, Miss Wright didn't like it. And I think Dr. Nelson, from the video, she was a little forceful going towards her. So, Miss Nelson could use, she was afraid for her life. I don't know what really happened because we couldn't hear what was going on in the video. We just know something happened. And now Dr. Yvonne Nelson is dead. She was a community activist here in the city. She got on our butts, got on a whole lot of butts about the blight in our city, the trash in our city. She got on their tails about those things. And so I really want closure to this story. Whether it was self-defense, I don't know what happened behind those walls. Because after Dr. Nelson ran towards Miss Wright, you didn't see anything else. So I want to know what happened behind that wall. Who else seen it? Who else seen what happened? That's some of the stuff that I wanted to see. Now I got to get ready to go to commercial break. But when I come out of my commercial break, we're going to talk about the Ridge at West Memphis Apartments. I'll tell y'all more about that because I am going to open my lines when I come back from my commercial break. The lines are open after my commercial break, 901-244-6874, 901-244-6874. And if you are from West Memphis and you live in those apartments, then I really want to hear what you have to say. Give me a call when I come back from my commercial break. But I want to hear what facts are facts. Miss Ruby sung the blues, and Towanna gonna bring you the news. I'll be right back right after this.
me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise, Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Esau. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Esau put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet, Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
And we're back. You're watching the Towanna Murphy Show right here on SVP TV, Comcast 17, Comcast 31. You can also watch the Towanna Murphy Show on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, On Demand, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Now, remember before I went to my commercial break, I told y'all I was going to tell y'all what's going on at the Ridge at West Memphis Apartments. About a week or so ago, all of the tenants there were asked to vacate their apartments. They didn't give them any reason. They didn't say nothing. They just told them they had to be gone by the end of the month. And some of the tenants want answers over there. So I've been getting a lot of calls, some of the calls from West Memphis tenants saying they got to get out of these apartments and they still don't know what's going on. They don't know where they're going. They don't know anything. They have no answers. So I called yesterday and I didn't get any answer. I called again today at the apartments and I didn't get an answer. So on the phone is one of the tenants at the Ridge at West Memphis Apartments. Caller, go ahead.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Yes, it's the Westview Apartment in West Memphis off Broad.
They didn't give them any reason to have to be gone.
So it's the Westview?
And they're trying to get us, they're making us move out or either pay the first month's rent and paying a deposit. Even although we've been there 3 to 5 years, they're still trying to make us pay a deposit. And they're not fixing apartments up, and then they're just making us do this by the first of the month. And some of us over there are on fixed income, and we was there, and that's the reason we were there. But now we're getting pushed out of there and have nowhere to go.
So you mean to tell me you've been in your apartment for 5 years? Now what's the name of them again? Because I thought it was the Ridge at West Memphis Apartments.
It's the Westview Apartments.
Westview Apartments. Okay, Westview Apartments.
Yes,
Westview.
the Westview Apartments.
Okay, because somebody texted me and said it was the Ridge at West Memphis. Okay, so it's the Westview Apartments. Thank you for correcting that, because that's the text I just got. Okay, so you've been living there 5 years.
Correct.
And now they're asking you to move or pay a deposit and first month's rent again?
Exactly.
So did they give you any answers of why they're doing this?
No, they had some new owners to come in, and they're like, he had texted me once, and I didn't know who he was over the phone. He had just come, he called me over the phone, and he was talking about raising the rent, and I'm like, who is this calling my phone talking about, you going to raise the rent? No, you're not, And not once did he say who he was, And then he got smart with me over the phone, and then after it was over, he told me, well, you can get the hell out of my apartment, just like, I'm like, wow, and so now they're telling us that we have to pay the first month's rent and pay a deposit. If not, we need to get out of it. And like I said, some of us are on fixed income over there, and where are we to go now? What are we to do?
Right, because you just can't jump up and move, especially after you've paid your rent. And they're telling you at the end of the month, you have to get out. And you guys have been living there for years. So I'm not. I don't think they could do that. I don't think that the tenants that's in there already. I don't think they should be doing that and just telling you have to pay the first month's rent and deposit all over again. If they are taking over the apartments or somebody's new coming in taking over the apartments, the tenants that's there just continue to pay their rent. It's for the new people that should be coming in. That's how it's supposed to go.
Correct. That's what I thought.
But they're not doing it like that.
The reason I moved over there because the rent was low and I couldn't afford it on my income, right? Correct. And so they changed it from one price, then they changed it to another price. Now they're changing it to $600 over in the Westview Apartment. Anybody know the Westview Apartment? They're not worth $600.
Right.
And they changed it from $300 to $400. I know a lot of people probably shocked that people were still paying that type of money, paying that type of rent. But that was the rent that I was paying when I first moved in there. And then they changed it to 400, like I said, I'm on fixed income, and then they changed it to 600. They want 600 by the first of the month, 600 plus $600 deposit.
Now, I understand that they can raise the rent, but not by that much. So if you're paying $400 for rent, from my understanding, they can jump the rent from $400 to $450 or even $475, but they can't make a big jump like that from $400 to $600.
Right, they just changed it this year from 300 to 400. Now they changed it from 400 to 600.
Right, that's a big jump. And when is your lease up?
My lease, I haven't had a lease since they had the apartments done. You know, since the first people left, we haven't done a lease or anything.
So
That's what I'm saying. They haven't talked to anybody about a lease.
Right. So none of the tenants have a lease at this point.
Correct.
Now, if the new owners are coming in, now I'm not quite sure how this goes, but if the new owners are coming in, then they have to go by what's on those on the current lease right there and say, hey, this person was paying this much on this rent in this lease. This is what the lease said.
Right.
But if you don't have a lease, then they can actually do what they want. If there's no lease.
Really?
Yeah, if there's no lease. If none of the tenants got a lease up in there and they never renewed any of you guys' leases, they can. Now, I don't think they can ask you to pay a rent deposit over because you're still in the apartments. But I think they can just go ahead and jump the rent up. But they can't make you pay a security deposit and the rent over again and the rent again, first month's rent again. No, they can't do that. But if they didn't give any of you a new lease, then they can jump the rent up like that.
Right, and then, you know, like the apartments that he's fixing up, you know, they fixed up some, and the apartments I've been in, you know, they haven't come in and fixed anything, you know. They'll come in every now and then and patch something up. Other than that, they haven't fixed anything, you know. Every time you ask them about something over there, you know, all right, we'll get to it, you know, but they haven't come over there and fixed anything. And it's, you know, I've been living in this apartment got mildew. We've been telling them about it, and, you know, they won't come over and rectify it.
Mm-hmm. So if you got mildew in your apartment, they won't fix anything. Your next step is make sure you keep a record of everything that you have sent over there. And if they haven't did anything, then your next step is to go to code enforcement. And you go to code enforcement will make them do it, and then they'll come back and review it and see if they've taken care of the issues. If they haven't taken care of those issues, then what they're going to do is fine the apartment complex.
Okay.
And so that gives you one thing I know about apartment complexes, homeowners. What I know about them is this: they don't want code enforcement on their butt at all.
Okay.
They don't want code enforcement on their butt. So if they don't want code enforcement to come in and inspect them, because now they have to answer to somebody.
Because there's a lot of work needs to be done over in those apartments, period. You know, just seriously speaking.
Yeah, but they can't just put you out like that and you paid your rent. They just can't.
Well, that's what he said. You know, either pay it or get out.
They can't.
It's as simple as that.
Well, let me tell you the rules. Let me tell you the rules.
You know, we can't just jump up and leave.
No, you can't. You can't, because if you paid your rent, he can't just tell you to get out. He got to go. That's a procedure. They got to go through proper procedures. So if you're packing your stuff to get out of this apartment because he just told you got to get out, no, you got to go through proper procedures. If you have not missed your rent and you're still paying your rent, they cannot tell you to get out the apartment if you have not done anything wrong. If you have not torn up the apartments, drugs, things of that nature, no, they can't just tell you to get out.
And since we've been over there, we've never been late on the rent. You know, we've never been late on the rent or anything like that, rent or light bill or anything like that. So, you know, we've never had a complaint over there.
They can't put you out.
They would come over there and say that y'all have a nice apartment over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to showcase it, but no, we wouldn't allow that. You know, no, not at all.
Right. So they can't put you out. They cannot put you out. I wouldn't even be packing my things. They can just throw them out. Have they given you proper notice?
No.
Okay, then they can't just throw you out.
He put it on Facebook. He texted to me, and I should have screenshot it, but I didn't. He texted to me, and then he erased it.
No.
He deleted his.
You have to have you have to have legal documentation. They have to give you legal documentation in order to put you out of there. He cannot text you and say get out. He got to give you an eviction notice. That's not eviction notice. He got to give you an eviction notice. So him texting, sending you a text message saying you got to be gone in 30 days. No, he got to go through the proper channels, which means he got to send you an eviction notice first. And then he has to have probable cause of why he evicted you. Because if you paid your rent, he can't just put you out. I wouldn't be packing nothing.
Right.
For all the tenants that's living over
I
there,
come home and my stuff was outside. They put my stuff outside.
they can't sit nobody's stuff outside. Now I did send a message over to Mayor Marco McClendon the other day. He just got the message this morning, so give him some time to see if he could talk to the people.
Because his attitude over there is just horrible over there. This guy, his attitude is just, it's just off the chain.
Okay, because I sent over there the ridge of West Memphis, so I have to make sure I send that back over to the mayor, Mayor Marco McClendon, because that's what was told to me. So I got to make sure I straighten that and tell him which one it is. But no, they can't. They can't do that at all. They have to follow proper procedure. They have to send you a eviction notice, and they have to have probable cause. And if they don't have probable cause, they can't just put you out. You can't. You won't have to do nothing but pay your rent.
$600 plus $600 deposit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to figure what should we do, about that.
Yeah, because that's not a lease. If you got to have your lease. Where's your lease? And if you don't know when your lease up, find your lease.
Okay, I have my lease. My lease was when I looked at it the other day, it was for a year. That's when I first moved in, and I haven't had a lease since. They have never given us another lease, even said anything about another lease.
So there's a few people in there, a lot of people in that apartment complex that they just going to set out.
Right.
They can't just set you out like that. And if you don't know your rights, they'll set you out. You got to know your rights. You got to know your rights. If they haven't given you an eviction notice and you have not went to court, they cannot set you out.
Okay.
In my house, and I let her stay a month, and now I want her gone. Guess what? I got to evict her. I got to give her. I got to take her to court to get her out my house, even though I said get out, and she was gonna stay for a month. But if she don't want to leave my house, guess what? I got to do a whole eviction. I got to go to the courts. I got to file it, and I got to put her out, even though I let her stay with me for a month.
Right.
They can't just put you out.
What do I do about this? Do I still just pay the regular rent I've been paying, or how do I, do I let them go up to $600? And I just can't cease paying $600 over there, And I started out paying $3, and then this year they changed to $4, and now they want to change to $6.
Well, if you have no lease, you got to pay the $600.
Really?
If you have no lease, you got to pay $600. Yep. Or you can move. That's the predicament they putting y'all in right now. Either you pay the $600 or get out.
Right.
So that's the predicament. But I just think that they shouldn't have put y'all in that predicament like that. That's kind of harsh. They should have sent everybody a letter in those apartments and say, hey, it's under new management. And none of y'all have no lease, so they can actually raise the rent without even saying nothing. They can raise the rent without even saying a word. They can raise the rent however they want to. They can do that. But there's an order to anything that you do. You have to. They have to send all of y'all a letter. So if they have not sent any of the tenants a letter, and all of a sudden they can raise the rent if you ain't got no lease or your lease is not renewed, they can't do that. But
right, because they haven't come out and tell us we need to renew a lease or anything since they've been there,
Well, you don't let them do that to you. You go in there and ask them for a lease. If they're going to raise your rent to $600, then you ask them for a lease. You ask them for a lease, and you need to sign that lease at that time. And if not, then you have to find you somewhere to move. But they only giving y'all to the end of the month to do this.
Right.
And that's not fair to none of the tenants. That's not right. That's not fair to any of the tenants over there. That is not fair. You have to. They have to give you enough time to say, hey, if I want to stay here or not. If I want to pay this $600 or do I want to move? But 30 days is not enough for nobody to move. You at least got to have 60 days. You can find you somewhere else to move.
Right.
So I would go back there, or even I'll come over there tomorrow and go to the office and see who I can talk to over there.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's preposterous to me. It's preposterous to me. And that's why anybody that's renting a house, you always get a lease. If your lease is up, you make sure you go to your landlord or you go to your apartment complex and you say, hey, I need a new lease.
Okay.
I need a new lease, because you don't get a new lease, the next month he can say, oh, your rent $600. Oh, I'm putting it to $900 now. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But either pay it or move. But to throw people out like that, they can't do that. They can't just throw people out. They can't just do that. They can't. They gotta go through the process. And I've been learning a lot about this stuff because I've been to court.
I was trying to find it. I was trying to find if we can find some help, and West members could move out those apartments and get in something else. You know, we don't have to deal with those people anymore, because if they're going through this, you know, it's going to be trouble with them all the way through it. I can see it from now on.
Right. So how many other families are there that's going through the same thing?
I know there's the lady next to me, and then there's two other ladies on the front that she was telling me about
Okay.
So they will, you know, they're not able to pay it, you know, our rent salary now. You know, the kids are trying to help them pay their rent and bills over there now.
Okay. So in the first incident, when y'all first when they first told y'all, did they call your phones and tell you? Did they send a text message, or did they give you a letter and put it at everybody's door?
No, they texted. And then, like I said, he removed the text.
You can't do that. You can't do that. It's got to be, they got to have they got to have a letter. Everybody get a letter in their door. So,
No, they don't.
but here's the deal. Here's the deal. Even if you pay the $600 for the upcoming month, which is September, they cannot, under no circumstances, just throw you out. Even if you don't pay your rent for 3 months, they still got to take you to court. They can't come to your house and throw you out. Then you got to go to court.
Okay.
You got to go to court. So I would say running scared. Don't run scared, because I know some people were saying, I'm just packing up. I got to find me somewhere to go. Don't run scared, because they got to follow proper procedures. And if you don't know proper procedures and they throw you out, guess what? You don't know what's going on. So I'm telling y'all what's going on. If you have not had an eviction notice, they cannot come and throw you out. So next month, if you want to pay that $600, then pay him the $600. But he can't throw you out. He can't throw you out and ask for a new lease. But they cannot throw you out. So for the people that they have already thrown out, they're not supposed to do that. And if you don't know your rights, they'll do anything to you if you don't know your rights.
Yeah, because one young lady, she just moved out. She just left last Saturday. She just left. She said she's not going to go through that. And she just packed her stuff and left.
No, you don't have to do that. She shouldn't have done that either. I would say if you like your apartment and you just want them to fix it up and they moved it to $600, pay the $600, and then until you can find you somewhere you want to move to.
Right.
But
no, they won't fix anything. See, we just had it looking nice inside, you know, kind of covering it up, you know, but they won't fix anything in there. Cracks in the walls and all that. They won't come and fix it. You know, the windows mildew, you know, they rusted out. It's just like they come in and painted the tub, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. They just covering the stuff up.
they can't wait.
Closet, you know, it's mildew in the closet. We tell them they haven't come and rectified that. You know, they supposed to came and did the windows. They haven't done that. You know, none of this.
Oh, and see, nothing, anything that they've done that you requested for them to do, always keep a record of everything you've asked them to do. Take pictures of it, put a record, make sure you got a track record of everything that you have asked them to do in that apartment. If they have not done that in that apartment, then you, like I said, call code enforcement. Code enforcement is going to make them. They have a certain time to get everything done. And then code enforcement is going to come back in there and they're going to inspect to see if it's done. Like I said earlier, if it's not done, they get fined for that.
Right.
So to push you out of your apartments or people running scared because they're throwing them out like that, no, they can't do that. And you can actually sue them for that. You can sue them for that. So I wouldn't run scared. I wouldn't be packing my stuff to run out and say, I'm finna go because they throwing folk out. No. As long as you know your rights as a tenant, then you follow them. If they have not given you proper documentation, then you don't have nothing to worry about. That's on their end. That's on their end.
They haven't sent out any letters.
Okay, no letters? Then what y'all rushing to move for? They can't throw y'all out. They can't throw you out. You just got to go over there and tell them, listen, I know my rights as a tenant. And you can't just throw me out. As long as I pay y'all the $600 for the next month's rent, you can't expect me to give you another security deposit because I'm in here already.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Well,
and then they pay $600 and they won't fix anything. That's just it's just really messed up over there.
Because my producer is saying that they can, as long as you don't have a lease, they can make you pay the security deposit and the rent.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's the company. She said they don't know nothing about that security deposit. It's the company, whole new company. So they don't know nothing about that security deposit. So you need to find out about that too.
Okay.
Find out about that too.
So go around there and talk to them tomorrow.
Yeah, go around there and talk to them tomorrow. And I'm gonna come over there and see it. So it's the view. Say it again.
It's the Westview Apartments.
Westview Apartments. I told the mayor it was. I told the mayor it was that it's the Westview Apartments. I told the mayor it was something else because they said that or the what is the Meadows or something like that. What is it? Let me see. Because some of the other people had texted me about it. They said it was that one or it was it's the Ridge or the Meadows.
We was looking at the Ridgeway Apartment.
Yeah, they said it was the Ridge or the Meadows.
Those apartments. They probably got it twisted around. We were looking at those apartments, the Ridgeway apartments.
Oh, because that's what I sent over.
Get out of the Westview Apartment.
Okay, that's what I looked over. So I have to make sure I tell him that's the Westview Apartment. So I have to send it back over to the mayor and let him know what's going on because he didn't know. I sent the message.
Okay.
And she relayed the message this morning. So I will send it back.
Okay.
I just told her the tenants gave me, because I know some more tenants had called me about it too. Let me put that up there so I can make sure I got it right.
And I probably twisted it up. I was so upset and nervous about it, and probably twisted that up.
It's okay. It's okay. I just sent it back over. So maybe the mayor will talk to them and see what's really going on over there, either tomorrow or Friday. But I did send the message over to Mayor Marco McClendon's assistant, and I let her know what was going on. But she did get back to me this morning, and she did tell me that the mayor is aware of, she just told him today what was going on when I sent the message to her. So hopefully Mayor Marco McClendon will go over there to Westview Apartments and talk to them and see what's going on over there. Because from what I'm looking at and what I'm hearing, all the tenants are scared right now because they don't know if they're going to be thrown out at the end of the month or not.
Right.
They're all scared. So maybe the mayor get over there and talk to them or talk to the company and see what they can do to rectify the situation. So as of now, you don't have a lease, they can raise your rent.
Okay.
But now what the mayor could do is talk to them and say, hey, for the tenants that's already in there, can they not pay the security deposits, just continue to pay the rent since they already live in there? They can make some kind of arrangements for y'all. Maybe they can talk to the Mayor Marco McClendon, and they can make some kind of arrangements. And for the ones that's for the new tenants that's coming in, then they have to pay the rent and the security deposit. But for the ones that's already there, maybe he can talk to them and see if that's something they can compromise on. Because you guys don't have a lease, and the prior owners didn't give you a new lease. So they have to honor what they have, and the ones that don't have a new lease, they can raise the rent. And even the ones with a lease, if their lease is up, they can raise the rent for the following month.
Okay.
They can do that. So I didn't know the whole gist of the story, but just to throw people out, they can't do that.
Okay.
So tell the rest of the tenants, know their rights. Don't get scared because they're going to throw them out, and don't just jump up and move and they got nowhere to go.
Right.
Can't jump up and move and don't have nowhere to go. A lot of them tenants don't got nowhere to go.
Right.
So y'all can't just jump up and leave like that. So just make sure you do that. Make sure you talk to him.
Okay, I will. And I appreciate you, and I thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was trying to waver through this because I didn't know why they was trying to throw y'all out of here.
Okay.
I didn't know why. And guess what? You know what? Guess what's gonna happen though? For the apartments that's empty in there, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fix those apartments up. They're gonna clean them up, and then they're gonna charge more than $600.
Right, that's what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're trying. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yep.
The ones they fix them trying to charge $600, and the ones I've been in for the last 3 to 5 years, you know, they haven't fixed it. You know, so
like I told you, everything that you
I can paint it, you know, or something like that. But
everything that you put in there, everything that you have complained about, write it down, take a picture. Always keep your track record of everything that's going on in that apartment. If you ask them to fix a doorknob and they didn't fix it, make sure you take a picture of it. Make sure you write it down, the date and times that you sent it over there and you told them to fix it. Keep a track record of everything that's going on in that apartment, everything that you have asked them to fix. Keep a track record, take a picture of it, and send it over. If it's not done in a certain time, then you get on their butt. Call code enforcement. Just call them and have them come over there. So don't get scared about it, and don't pack up your things. If you want to stay, pay the $600 rent until you can find you another place to live that you want to live in.
okay.
If you want to stay there, go ahead and have them give you a new lease. But maybe, just maybe, Mayor Marco McClendon can talk to the new owners of the building and say, hey, the tenants that's already there, just let them pay the next month's rent. And, you know, kind of bump the security deposit and keep it moving.
Right.
Yeah, or give you an updated apartment. Yeah, because my producer, she a homeowner, she rent houses, so she know. She know.
Okay.
So she said either do that or have them give you a new apartment. You gonna pay $600, put you in one of the ones they just fixed up.
Right, that's true.
Put you in one of the ones. So that's what you go over there and do. I'm still here. Put me in one of the new ones that you finna fix up. You're gonna fix up a new apartment, move me in one of those, and then whoever gonna move in your apartment, then fine, fine. Let them pay the security deposit.
Right.
Let them pay the security deposit and the rent. But I don't think this is just me. I don't think you should have to pay a security deposit. If they take the rent up, fine. Like my landlord took my rent up. He didn't ask for no security deposit. He just took the rent up.
Right. That's another thing, they had me in a different way because, he wanted another deposit, and I'm already there. We've already been there.
Right.
Never late on the rent period. And then you want to do it like that.
Well, it could be some compromise in there because he can do it, but it should be some compromising there. They should be able to compromise that. Like I said, I sent over the message to Mayor Marco McClendon's assistant, and he is aware of it. Except everybody gave me the wrong apartments. Everybody gave me the wrong apartment, so I had to send it back over to her and tell her which one it was. But Westview Apartments, right? So maybe the Mayor Marco McClendon will look into it, talk to the new owners, and see what they can do to rectify the situation.
Okay.
So right now, those are your options. So your options is number one, go in there and talk to them. Your second option is pay the $600 for the next month's rent if you want to stay. If they want you to stay and they want to fix that apartment up, then move you to a new apartment. The ones that they fixed up already. Number 3, if you want to move, then move. But if you move, you still gonna have to pay rent and security deposit.
Yeah.
You have to pay a whole new rent and security deposit.
Yeah, right. And I just don't want to be hassled by him, over there with a bunch of crap over there.
He's gonna have to do right by folk. He's gonna do right by the tenants. Because if he don't do right by his tenants, he's gonna still be in that same predicament with everybody. Then you end up losing altogether because nobody wants to stay in your apartments. You lose altogether with that one. Putting out, that's wrongful eviction. They can sue them for that.
Okay.
You have no documentation and you just set people's stuff out.
He tried to go back a year or 2 years on me with the rent receipt, and he was saying, well, you didn't pay this month and you didn't pay this month. I said, of course I paid every month I've been here. He said, no, we don't have it. I said, well, I paid it. So I went back and kept all my rent receipts. I went back and gave it to him, and then he said, well, then he told me you were late, and then he made me pay $100 late fee on something a year ago, and that's a bunch of bull crap. See, I didn't know. If I'd have known, I could have, got back with him, but, I had to pay a late fee.
No, first of all,
And that was before he was there.
wait, what I'm saying, first of all, these are new owners. He cannot go back into your records and find something from 9 months ago and say, oh, you was late. You got to pay that $150 fee. He can't do that. These are new owners. They got to start from right there where they are. He can't do that. He cannot do that. He can't do that. And so that's intimidation as well.
Right, and one of my neighbors, she said he did her the same way.
No, he can't do that. He cannot go back through those records and find out. If that's the case, then my landlord would go back there and say, Towanna, you owe me $30. You owe me $30 from 9 months ago. They can't do that. The new owners have to start from where they are from scratch. Whatever they have right there, all the tenants that's there, who's still on a lease, who don't have a lease, they have to work from there.
We actually don't know when he even, they have really taken over the apartment, because we're still paying to Westfield, so I really don't know when they took over.
So that's a whole mess over there.
Yeah, it is.
That's a whole mess over there. Well, he has to know one thing. He cannot go back into y'all records and charge y'all for something from 9 months, a year ago. He can't do that because he's the new owner. He can't go through there. He can't do that. He has to just start from what he has right now, the tenants that's there, what your lease look like, who's still on a lease, who don't have a lease, and then he work from there.
Okay.
That's how he has to do it.
Because I sent it to her in a messenger. I had taken a picture and sent it to a manager over there in the apartment. I'm gonna have to go back and see when I had taken that picture. When that money order that he made me pay that $100 for, that was late.
No. I mean to laugh, but this man went all the way back a whole year.
If you don't know, you don't know. That's why I'm trying to call somebody and get somebody to help me with this over here.
Right, a whole year.
It's really a bunch of mess.
This man, a whole year. Are you trying to make me? You can't tell me this man went back a whole year and said you was late in 2019 and you owe $150. You can't tell me he told you had to pay that.
And he did. Yes, he did. He told me I was late and I had to pay $100. Sure did.
And he's the new owner of the building.
Right. He told me that your rent will be $400 a month. After that, I'm like, yeah, that's when like I said, we were well we could afford it, at the time, and then the way he come in, it's just a bunch of mess. To some people, that's no money. To me, it is when you're on fixed income. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a lot when you.
Tell me after blue that I owe you an extra $100 or something, and I know I've never been late over there,
Exactly.
Yeah, he did.
That's a fool. That's a whole fool. But go over there and talk to him because know your rights. And I just told you what your rights were. He cannot do that to you at all. Because at first I know that many of y'all didn't know what was going on. They just told y'all got to get out.
Right.
So I know many of y'all didn't know what was going on with that. So now that y'all got a kind of a feel of what's really going on with these new owners, I don't know, talk to them. Talk to them and see what your options are from what you telling me and what one of the ladies called me this morning telling me he a real asshole.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing, he a real asshole. I'm going to come over there tomorrow. I'm going to make a trip over there tomorrow and come to the office and talk to him and see what's really going on.
Okay.
But I'm going to make a trip over there and see what's going on with him. Because he ain't going to talk to everybody smart unless he just don't want to talk to me, period. But I'm going to go over there and talk to him and see what can y'all do as tenants.
Okay.
But this is stupid to me. I don't know. It's confusing. It's stupid. You got new people in power that's over those apartments that want to intimidate the tenants. And that's just a form of intimidation.
Right.
And that shouldn't be at all. Because the lady that called me earlier today, she was scared. She was like, Ms. Murphy, they gonna put me out. They gonna put me out. And I was like, they can't put you out. They just can't put you out. They gotta take you to court. They can't just put you out. He said he throwing me out. I said, he can't throw you out, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, he cannot throw you out. So I reassured her this morning that he cannot throw her out. And I did tell her, just like I told you, I told her this morning, I told another lady. Another lady called me too. What was that? Tuesday. Another lady called me she live in those apartments too. She called me and I told her the same thing. They can't throw y'all out. They have to do it. They have to follow protocol and procedures. And if you have not paid your rent, if you paid your rent, they can't just throw you out like that.
Okay.
So she kind of calmed down after a while. Today, the lady that called me today, she just kind of calmed down like, Ms. Murphy, he gonna throw me out. I said, he can't throw you out, ma'am. He can't do that.
No, she was upset.
Yeah, she was upset and she was scared because, she got nowhere to go. Like she said, where we gonna find some place at this short notice of time to just go? And then we ain't got no proper paperwork. They just told us we gotta go. Either pay the security deposit and the rent and go. And it was raising the rent. So, oh God, it's confusing. It's confusing. It's people that taking over the apartments, and I think that their real issue is let's just kick them all out, fix them all up, and charge them double for the rent. Yeah, they're trying to push y'all out. As my producer said, they're trying to push y'all out. They try to just push all of y'all out of there so they can do whatever they want to do with those apartments. West Memphis is not big. It's not a big city. And with West Memphis not being a big city, and a lot of people can't afford that extremely high rent. So what they're trying to do is charge you as if it's a big city like Memphis. Memphis is a big city. And a 2-bedroom over here is $800 for just a few. And some is $1,000 for a 2-bedroom. So they're taking these small, I don't know how big those apartments are, but they're taking these small apartments and they want to push everybody out of the apartments, and then they want to fix all the apartments up, and they're not going to charge $600, they're going to charge $650, $700. That's what they're going to charge once they fix them up. But there's a lot of people that still don't have a place to live right now in West Memphis.
Okay.
You talking to somebody else and me?
Oh no, I was trying to get off the speaker so I can hear you.
What I was saying was they're just trying to push everybody out those apartments, fix those apartments up, and then charge $650, $700 for rent.
Right. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
But, and that's why I said I'd rather let them have their apartment.
No, because you're giving them what they want. They trying to push you out. Pay your rent. Pay your rent until you can save up enough money to move. Or if they want to do it or have them give you one of the new apartments they fixed up.
Right.
And then you'll pay your rent and security deposit to move into a new one. But if you still in that one, just let you pay your $600 rent and keep it moving.
Okay.
Come on, you pay a rent and security deposit in an apartment that's jacked up. If I'm paying a rent and security deposit, you're going to move me into one of them new ones that you just fixed up. You ain't finna just give me, I'm not finna pay no rent and security deposit for the one I'm living in.
Exactly.
And then get it.
No, and
Go ahead.
okay. If I pay $600, look like I should be able to move into one of the new apartments and don't have to pay the deposit, right? Is this what you're saying?
The right way to do this is this. And like I said, they do things their way. If it was my way and I was in charge of and I owned the apartment complex and I took over from a previous owner, the people that's already living in those apartments, the only thing I would do for them is fix up the ones that's vacant, fix them all up, get them in shape, and then I wouldn't charge you the deposit. I would take the rent up, but I would go ahead and move you to those new apartments. I wouldn't make you pay a security deposit. I would just move you to those apartments, to the newer ones, because I'm raising the rent. And then for the new people that may want to rent those apartments, then I'll fix the rest of them up. And then for the people that's coming in, they can pay the rent and the security deposit, the first month's rent.
Right.
But for my tenants that's already there, no, y'all need to change y'all address because I'm going to move you to apartment 2. And this will be your new address. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
That's what I would do if I have taken over the apartment complex versus saying, you live in this raggedy ass apartment. I'm going to take the rent up to $600 and you going to pay me the security deposit and the rent. And the rent in this raggedy ass apartment. And this raggedy ass apartment that's mildewed, that walls cracking, you done painted the damn tub.
That's what I said. I said, how am I pay $600? Exactly what you just said for this raggedy ass apartment.
Right.
I had it fixed up, and it was nice. You couldn't tell it was a regular ass apartment. Because like I said, they wanted to make it a showroom. My apartment, but we wouldn't allow that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's, in the same sense, y'all still want to go up on, $600 on that apartment. Y'all haven't done shit too. Excuse me, y'all haven't done anything too.
Right. Exactly.
But
exactly. You want me to move? You want me to pay $600? Put me in a new apartment. The ones you just fixed up, damn it, don't you? I ain't finna pay you all this money. It's business raggedy. I was finna say something I don't mean to say.
Right.
I can't say that on the air. I can't say it.
You ain't saying nothing I haven't said.
Right. You can't say what I want to say, what I really want to say. I can't say it because I'm on air. FCC go get me. And so I can't say what I want to say. But that's the right. So don't get all, frustrated and packing up. Go over there, talk to the man, be sensible with the man. Ask the man a question. Talk to him. And say, hey.
He's out of town. He has his manager over there, the one that's fixing up the apartment. And there, you talk to her, and she said, well, I'll be over there and I'll do this. But she haven't gotten over there and done anything,
Okay.
And then, like she said, she even said he's an asshole, She's been working with him for some years. She said he's an asshole, and she can't believe he's doing this to the people that's been over there,
Right.
And she talked to him, and I guess apparently he got smart with her about it, So.
Oh, yeah, so he's just an asshole all the way around. He's just an asshole.
All the way around.
He's just a whole asshole. That's it. He got to be white.
Mm-hmm. I think he might be a Iranian.
Okay, them foreigners. Okay, because the foreigners are coming in our city trying to take over our stuff. So, okay, a foreigner.
Right.
A foreigner. Okay, I get it. A foreigner.
Yeah, they've had the code enforcement over there quite a bit, over those apartments.
Well, then you call them again.
On there.
Go over there and talk to her. Tell her, listen, this is what I want you to do. Now, you want me to pay $600? Put me in a new apartment. That's it. That's all. Change me to a new apartment. I got 1 minute left and I got to get out of here. But I'm gonna go over there tomorrow and I'm gonna talk to the manager and see what they gonna do. Because I have a lot of tenants over there that's running scared right now. So I'm going to go over there and talk to them and see what I'm going to do. Or maybe Mayor Marco McClendon will get on my subtitle or whatever you call the thing. But listen, I got to get out of here. My time is up here. I got 1 minute left. Listen, thank you all for watching the Towanna Murphy Show. Right here on SVP TV, Comcast 13, Comcast 31. You can also watch this show on Roku, Apple TV, On Demand, Amazon Prime, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Remember, news is news. Facts are facts. Miss Ruby sung the blues. And Towanna gonna bring you news. Now next week, my special guest will be the one and only Larry Dotson. And we're gonna talk, a whole hour is just gonna be Larry Dotson. And we're gonna talk and he's gonna sing, he's gonna do a song or two for y'all. It's gonna be a very exciting show next week. So remember y'all, stick and stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Tell your friends to tell 10 friends. Thank y'all for watching the Towanna Murphy Show. Good night and better tomorrows.
For over 20 years, Opox has been keeping the Mid-South
warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
Opox is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on Opox for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on Opox.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love.